Welcome back to Knights of the Old Republic 2. I want to talk with Kreia, but before I do so, there is an explanation I need to give on the issue of the influence system, as well as the dark side and light side system in this game. I mean, I checked the guide on influence because I know it's a very important point in the game, especially in the Sith Lord's Restoration content mod, specifically the ending, and the way characters develop, companions develop. Yeah, significant impact on not just the story, but also on the gameplay, because players and yourself can gain advanced classes. For the player, you just need to get to level 15 and go either full light side or full dark side. I think over 80% in each side, depending on what you want to do, and you get access to your advanced class. For companions, you need to get or lose a significant amount of influence. And yes, lose, because this is a system similar, I guess, to the rivalry friendship system in Dragon Age 2, though it's actually worse than the rivalry friendship system in Dragon Age 2, or I guess you could argue the influence system in Alpha Protocol. It doesn't necessarily matter. You certainly can play the game, finish it fully, while having very low influence with all characters, but you are pushed in the direction of either getting a lot of influence or losing a lot of influence, so that you do your companion's story and you develop those companions, and they develop. Having a high influence means that they have a high opinion of you. Having a low influence means that they hate your guts. It's basically that. But they won't betray you, by the way. At least I think so. Though I haven't really checked this. I mean, I've played Knights of the Republic 2 several times, but I've generally gone with a high influence for all my companions. Or at least tried to. The system is very video gamey, and I don't like it, because it just pushes you in the path of gaming the system to try and get influence. And you actually can't really do so organically unless it's with certain companions. If you want to gain influence with everyone, you basically need to play like a psychopath, as in, or a maniac who makes one decision one moment and makes a completely different decision the other moment. No sort of internal logic or anything like that. Pure insanity. What I've decided to do is basically not give a flying fuck about the influence system. At least in the sense of how my choices are made. And I'll deal with the consequences when they arrive. I mean, I'll try and get max influence with my companions. As for Kreia, yeah, I've lost some influence on Paragus because of what I did. The guide is designed around the idea that it's much easier to lose influence with Kreia than it is to gain influence with Kreia. You don't need her to like you, to be clear, in order to gain the various bonuses, as well as to understand, to fully comprehend her story in this game. So you can go down a low influence path with Kreia, and based on the guide that I was reading, it's much easier to do. Like, we're going to Telos. You can basically get to that point by the time you're done with Telos. Do you want to go down that path? Probably not, so I've decided to reverse course. I mean, I like Kreia. She's also someone you gain influence with by making pragmatic decisions, smart decisions. So, you can certainly go down a low influence route with Kreia. It works, it's viable, it's how the game is designed. Hell, with other companions more so than with Kreia. It's because Kreia is so instrumental in the main story. I guess it's interesting that Kreia basically pushes you down a neutral path, if there's such a thing, but the game rewards you heavily for going either full dark side or light side, at least in terms of like gameplay bonuses. And you need to go full dark side or light side in order to unlock your advanced class. So this is what I despise about a lot of RPGs. The persuade system, mechanics like this, it just feels very artificial. Anyway, I'm gonna go talk with Kreia.
Have you come for more answers? There is little more left to give.
If you refer to your hand, the choice was yours.
Of course it was. I knew what was necessary, and that I was the only one who stood between you and him. This wound is a physical thing and will fade with time. It was necessary. Some things may only be learned from sacrifice.
If I felt the loss of your hand, what would have happened if you had died? Then consider the pain a lesson, I guess. Nah.
I do not know. I fear that the consequences would have been more extreme.
More extreme. I felt like my hand was dipped in molten carbonite.
Then the sensation you would feel upon my death might be less than that, though much quicker.
Are you saying my life is tied to yours?
Possibly, yes, and I fear it works both ways. I would not wish to test it, nor should you.
Then we'll work together and try to be careful until we can fix this. Assuming we can fix this.
When battle is upon us, I suspect our minds are prepared enough to shield each other from the pain. I think we shall not have a repeat incident of what happened at Paragus.
How could this bond have happened?
I confess its nature eludes me as well, but the bond is strong, and its roots run deep. It seems the Force flows easily between us. When one of us manipulates the Force to heal or strengthen ourselves, the other is aided as well.
Okay.
A powerful technique indeed, though, as we have noticed, it has its drawbacks.
Well, when we were on Paragus, I could feel the Force again.
Indeed. And was it the same as before?
It was like a whisper at the edge of hearing.
If my suspicions are correct, perhaps the damage the Jedi Council did was not as permanent as they thought. It is not an easy thing to cut one off from the Force.
Wait, the Jedi did this to me?
What did you believe? That you suddenly lost your connection with the Force without reason?
But to cut one off from the Force, it's like losing all your senses at once.
Indeed it is. It is much like losing one's ability to listen, or being put into a deep sleep, unable to awaken to the galaxy around you. Such a thing has been done before, when Jedi have pronounced sentence on their own, and exiled them as they did you.
Then there must be a way to reverse what they did.
It is possible that such a thing can be undone. Still, even so, the chances of the Jedi undoing such a thing for a traitor is a slim thing at best, assuming they yet live.
But the Force, I can feel it again, if only slightly.
Our link may have had other consequences. Perhaps you can hear the Force again, distantly, through me. If so, then there is hope. I may be able to teach you, train you to feel the Force again, and if you will not allow me to help you, then other Jedi must train you, or undo the damage they have done.
I will honor whatever training you wish to give me.
Do not honor me, fallen Jedi. Honor it by listening and learning. Do that, and perhaps we shall survive this thing, you and I. I offer to train you to become strong again, to know the ways of the Force, and to hear the Force sing within you as it once did.
If your training brings me power, then I will listen.
Then our training shall begin. Whenever I travel with you, I shall impart what I can to you through my words and presence.
This is a lot taken at once. I need time to reflect
I
on
would
this.
see to that fool in the cockpit and remind him of our destination. I would not want him attempting to veer from Telos.
He's not a fool, but he does feel odd to me.
He is a fool and an imbecile. His potential lies downwards, not up. Watch that one. His thoughts are slippery. I do not trust him, and nor should you. Such a man serves himself first, and his allies next.
Okay. Kreia approves.
If I were you, I would see to that fool in the cockpit. I would not want him attempting to veer from...
I had other questions here.
Ask, and I...
So, what do we do now?
I do not know. The Sith struck more swiftly than I thought, and they will not stop until they have you in their grasp. If you fall, all the galaxy will echo it.
We can't keep running until they catch us.
It does not matter where we go. It is not the destination that matters. It is the journey. All paths will take us to the end, whatever it may be, and no matter how strongly we fight against it. For now, we are bound for Telos, and that is enough.
Enough for what?
Before the war, Jedi who failed their training were sent to the fields of Telos to serve the galaxy, not as Jedi Knights, but as farmers and laborers. The destruction of Telos was complete. I doubt any Jedi remain. Yet there may be echoes of their passing. We shall see.
And if we find no trace of Jedi teachings on Telos to help us?
Then I am left with nothing more than we had already. My faith in you and your ability to meet what comes.
There were other questions I wish to ask you.
Ask, and I will answer.
I need to know more about the Sith hunting us.
These Sith, they seek the death of all Jedi, as have all the Sith, since the Jedi Order was first split.
First split?
Yes, the Jedi Civil War is not the first one of its kind. Thousands of years ago, the Jedi had another civil war that split the Order. It was a terrible thing. A faction among the Jedi abandoned the teachings of the Order, following their own path. They waged war on their fellow Jedi, a war that raged across the galaxy. But these fallen Jedi were cast out, defeated, and they retreated to worlds in the Outer Rim. Over time, they took on the mantle of the Lords of the Sith, but in their hearts they never forgot the Jedi. The hatred for the Jedi Order burns in their veins like fire and echoes in their teachings. Revan tasted it, as Malak did.
So these Jedi continue the crusade.
In a manner of speaking, they are different from Malak in that they are concerned only with the destruction of the Jedi. For them, it is all that matters, all that ever mattered. It is a different war these Sith wage, a thing of silence and shadow. They strike from the darkness, hiding from the face of the galaxy until all Jedi are exterminated. After all the Jedi are gone, then the galaxy is theirs, no matter whether the Sith or the Republic rules. It is the dark side that shall reign, unchecked.
The Sith on Paragus knew some force techniques, but they were extremely weak.
I believe them to be the result of special teachings. Their apparent weakness against you is evidence of this. Those Sith assassins can sense their prey through the Force. It is like a hunger. They feed and grow stronger when they are near Force sensitives. The stronger their prey is in the Force, the deadlier they become. As long as you were cut off from it, you were able to evade their sight. But after Paragus, I fear that you will be no longer shielded from their eyes, or the eyes of their masters. The stronger you grow, the more will come.
Other questions?
Ask. Yes, the Jedi Civil War is not the first one, a fact, but in a manner of it is after. I believe them to be
Well, I guess, regardless of what you choose, the conversations lead to the same destination.
Ask, and I will answer.
So it doesn't really matter what you ask or how you ask it, you're gonna get the same kind of answers. Can you tell me what has happened since the Mandalorian Wars?
Much has happened in the galaxy in your absence, and since the defeat of the Mandalorians at Malak 5.
Tell me about the Mandalorian Wars.
It is a tale you already know well. Almost a decade ago, the Mandalorians began preying on the Republic, bringing the fires of war to many planets along the Outer Rim. Their predations continued, winning victory after victory, until the Republic finally begged the Jedi Council for aid.
But only some Jedi Knights answered the call. like I did.
Indeed. The Jedi Council counseled caution and patience to assess the Mandalorian threat as the Outer Rim burned.
And Revan and Malak refused to wait. Refused to stand down while the galaxy burned. While worlds were burning. I mean, seriously. Fuck the Jedi.
2 Jedi Knights, Revan and Malak, defied the Jedi Council. They challenged the Mandalorian fierceness and brutality on the battlefield with a viciousness of their own. Revan's entrance into the conflict marked the true beginning and end of the war. It was Revan who drove the Mandalorians back into the unknown regions.
Even in that final battle, we almost lost the war.
Yet Revan triumphed. But you know this, for you were there at Malachor 5, when the Mandalorians were crushed beneath Revan's might.
I asked you what you know, not what I know.
You asked what had happened, and I am telling you. The past sent echoes into the future, and what seemed a victory for the Republic was far from it. Many believed the Mandalorians defeated at Malachor 5, but the Mandalorians taught the Jedi much through battle. And so it was that Malak, Revan, and the Jedi that followed them discovered their true natures in the Mandalorian Crusade. But you know this.
But some battles must be fought. It was not Revan's failing.
Did Revan fail? Or was it the failure of the Jedi teachings? A question for another time, perhaps. As Revan and Malak fought the Mandalorians in battle after battle, they grew to despise weakness, just as the Mandalorians did. In the end, the Mandalorians had taught them through conflict, shaped the Jedi, and turned them into a weapon against the Republic.
Well, this is certainly a lot better explanation than the canon one. Oh, you want to hear the canon explanation? The one they gave for the whole Sith empire that exists in the Old Republic? Oh, here, this one. So, after the war, during the battle, actually, with Mandalore, when Revan slew Mandalore, this is canon on the wiki and all that, after Revan defeated Mandalore, and as Mandalore lay dying, he basically revealed to Revan that he had been set up by the Sith Empire of Valkorion. And so, Revan journeyed to find the Emperor on Dromund Kaas, and he did. He and Malak did. And then they tried to kill him. They failed. The Emperor took control of their minds, turned them to the dark side, and sent them back into the galaxy to the Starforge. Revan and Malak did find the Starforge, and then promptly forgot about the whole thing with the Emperor. Until Revan remembered, and that's why he's missing here. That's the canon explanation. I think I like Kreia's version a lot better than that piece of crap. But then again, that's a pathetic excuse just to have a gigantic MMO with a massive war between the Sith and the Republic. Or half the galaxy is under the control of the Republic. And that was the Jedi Civil War.
Revan and Malak, and all the Jedi that served them, turned against the Republic and the Jedi Order. Jedi fought Jedi. Revan was ambushed by the Jedi and captured. Malak continued to wage war in his master's place, inflicting terrible wounds on the Republic. Wounds that bleed still.
The Republic is weak. They couldn't have beaten Malak.
As all Sith do, without a strong enemy, the Sith turned on each other. Revan escaped the Jedi and returned to finish Malak, and that was the end of the Jedi Civil War.
So what happened to Revan?
After defeating Malak, Revan left the Republic, and there are none who know where he has gone. It is said that the Sith remnants turned on themselves after Revan defeated Malak, reducing Korriban to ruin as the Republic still bleeds and struggles for life. Where Revan wanders now, I do not know.
Well, regardless of what he decided, the galaxy's in ruins. Revan's Sith Empire is annihilated, regardless of what you chose in KOTOR 1. And the Republic lies in ashes, regardless of what you chose in KOTOR 1. A destructive war against the Mandalorians, the loss of the Republic fleets against Revan, the countless worlds destroyed by both Mandalorians and Revan, the annihilation of the Jedi Order, deaths of many leaders, or the betrayals of many leaders of the Republic. It has left it as a hollow ruin that barely survives. Barely. All it would take is a gentle push. I aim to be the one that pushes it over the edge. Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll save it. If it's worth saving. Oh, if I had a choice, if this was like, say, for instance, the Galactic Empire era. I don't agree with Order 66, I don't agree with a lot of things Palpatine did, but hell, I would have joined him gladly in it to a certain extent to destroy the Republic. Because governments are either strong enough to survive on their own or they're not. They either face the challenges that come against them, and they survive it, or they don't. Nothing lasts forever. And if they're not capable of surviving, then they're not worth keeping around. So, Revan saved the Republic. You're saying Revan abandoned the war?
It would seem that way from a certain point of view, perhaps. The Jedi Civil War left wounds that have yet to heal. We shall see if the Republic has the strength to survive.
If the Republic is weak, it didn't deserve to win.
Perhaps. It is sometimes difficult to find the truth in the Jedi Civil War. Was it the Republic that defeated Malak, or was it Revan? If it was Revan, then the Republic was never truly tested.
So, what does it matter?
A culture's teachings, and most importantly the nature of its people, achieve definition in conflict. They find themselves lacking. Too long did the Republic remain unchallenged. It is a stagnant beast that labors for breath, and has for centuries. The Jedi Order was the heart that sustained its sickness. Now the Jedi are lost. We shall see how long the Republic can survive.
Perhaps it is better if the Republic stands on its own. I'm not saying it should burn, I'm saying it might do itself some good to not rely on a religious order like the Jedi. An order that numbers in the thousands and has constantly struggled throughout its entire existence against itself. All Sith, one way or another, most Sith at any rate, were Jedi to one extent or another. Well, maybe not Valkorian, or Palpatine, or Plagueis. But the origins of the Sith lie in the Jedi.
We shall see. The Jedi Civil War cost the Republic much. The resources of the Sith seemed limitless. The Republic's was not. Fleets of warships, soldiers, and people were lost. Entire planets were decimated. Their inhabitants dead, or refugees. It is a great burden for any civilization to bear. And this new threat, it is a quiet thing. Unlike the Jedi Civil War, it drives at something deeper than the strength of the Republic. It is aimed at you.
Because I'm the last Jedi?
The Republic was never what was important, ever. It was but a shell that surrounds the Jedi, just as the teachings of the Jedi are a shell surrounding the heart of man. You see, the war, the true war, has never been one waged by droids or warships or soldiers. They are but crude matter, obstacles against which we test ourselves. The true war is waged in the hearts of all living things, against our own natures, light or dark. That is what shapes and binds this galaxy, not these creations of man. You are the battleground, and if you fall, the death of the Republic will be such a quiet thing, a whisper, that shall herald the darkness to come.
I have other questions.
Ask.
So, what do we do now?
I do not know. The Siths...
I think I've heard
I would
him.
see to that fool in
Aston, he's not a fool, but he does feel.
what?
Oh, of course I gained the dark side. Embrace the darkness in you. It's not like I made unreasonable statements. Ooh, the Republic. Since why must the light side character suck the dick of the bloody Republic? What has the damn Republic ever done? She's absolutely right. It's a stagnant beast. It doesn't deserve to live if it can't survive on its own. But that's evil. Why? Nations are not important. People are. The people of a nation. People can change nations. It's all well and good to be patriotic to your country, your state. But patriotism, I guess you could say, also means dealing with the hard truths of any country. A lesson for the current age. That things aren't good and haven't been for quite a while. There's a reason so much of our media these days, and hell, even back here, was focused on stagnation. Because we have stagnated. Ever since the Cold War, we have stagnated. It's Western society, Eastern society. The only country that's even making any kind of real progress is China, and they're in deep trouble. Everyone else, for some, Trump is the end of the world. For others, Obama was the end of the world, and so and on and on and on it goes. Meanwhile, the problems that countries like America or Britain or France face keep getting worse and worse because no one's actually willing to fix them in a realistic way. Everyone's approaching the whole every situation for a purely partisan lens as opposed to a realistic one. And by the way, this applies perfectly well to the Republic in this game.
How's our passenger? She's still aging?
For someone without much to say, she sure says a lot.
Yeah, to you, maybe. I don't usually hear much beyond fool and imbecile. She's lucky she's a Jedi, or someone would have killed her years ago. I mean, how old do you think she is? She may have been good-looking once, but it takes some hard living to make creases like that.
Hard living?
Yeah. Her face looks like it was plowed by crazed Ord Mantell farmers. Don't tell me you were too distracted by her personality to notice.
Look, ease off the insults. She was wounded helping us escape, remember?
Whoa, all right. Don't get mad at me. Hey, I didn't ask her to stay behind and get her hand cut off, okay? I mean, I appreciate what she did and all, but she could stand to lay off the insults herself, you know?
Getting empathy from you is like squeezing water from a stone.
Oh yeah? Well, how much water you get from a stone depends what planet you're on, sister.
I see. Nice comeback. Never mind, I wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, no. Look, I respect your privacy. I mean, when have I ever asked you any questions? I mean, besides that one.
Do you know anything about that assassin droid?
Not much. Except sounds like it was after you. As far as I'm concerned, you handled that pretty well. No more droid, no more problem.
Since when do protocol droids collect bounties?
Yeah, well, you got me there. Look, droids, I don't trust them. That one we fought, some of them are built like that. Others just, well, break. In the head. Sometimes conflicting orders cause it. Give a droid too much data or tell it to do something it can't do, it'll crack their behavior module in half. Others just don't get memory wipes and they start going crazy. Speaking of which, I think that little trash compactor's long overdue. Trust me, droids were made to break, and most of all, they're predictable and stupid.
What do you mean? What did you mean about the Galaxy Mount not being much use?
Well, the astrogation system is voice printed and locked down, but that T3 unit is doubling as the astrogation system. You can try to plot a course, but without that T3 unit to perform the calculations, you'd probably plow us into a star. As long as he doesn't steal the ship, we should be all right.
Who voice printed the astrogation system?
I have no idea. Previous owner, maybe? I'd love to get it overhauled, but that's a major job. Besides, the droid will be good enough for now.
Why would someone lock the astrogation system?
Takes all kinds. Maybe someone didn't want anybody taking the ship out of the system, or knowing where the ship had been. Smugglers do it all the time in case the Republic decides to board them. Or so I hear.
Okay, forget it then. Just stick to piloting.
So, what happened?
To what?
Don't give me that. There were plenty of times back on Paragus where a lightsaber would have been helpful. So where's yours?
Exiles aren't allowed to keep their lightsabers.
Oh yeah? I thought a Jedi was supposed to be married to their lightsaber. Guess I heard wrong. Were you a single hilt or one of those double-bladed Jedi?
This is actually an important question, so don't fuck this one up. It was a single hilt.
Figures. It wasn't red, was it?
Red? What, do I look like a Sith to you, Atten? See, I haven't actually murdered someone, or stalked them, or assassinated them. I mean, you can argue that my character is responsible for genocide, but that's a bit of a different discussion, isn't it? Both the blade and the crystals were unique.
Yeah? Unique how?
This is actually... What you answer here will determine quite a few things. Silver. Like the streams in the room of 1,000 fountains on Coruscant.
Must have been something. Sure be nice to have it now. Might make those Sith think twice before coming after us.
I think having it would just drive them to hunt me harder.
Alright, forget I said anything.
Like I said before, you can check our course on the galaxy map if you want. It's on the wall behind you.
You know, this T3 unit, you can tell it to basically stand the hell still instead of moving around the entire damn ship repairing things. But then again, that's kind of what the droid should do, so in it makes the ship somewhat lively, I suppose. So I'm not gonna complain about that much. Assuming I can find the damn thing wherever the hell it is. Oh, there we go. Do you know where the HK droid in the cargo bay came from? You're trying to rebuild him. Why? To protect me? But that's an assassination droid. A deranged assassin droid. I'd rather have your help, and that's it. Yes, I understand you're not a combat mod. Alright, where did you get it from? Any idea how its parts got scattered all over the galaxy? I had to ask, do you know where I can find the parts? I'll check with the droid merchants across the galaxy then. Any idea how its parts got scattered? Alright. I think I gained a significant amount of influence with T3 right here. T3, what's wrong with the astrogation system? You locked it. Why did you do that? Protect? Protect who? Under whose orders? An old friend? Why didn't they want anyone to know where the ship had been? So, the astrogation system was crippled to prevent learning where the Ebon Hawk had been. But how did the Ebon Hawk come back from there if it was so dangerous, and why?
T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic... I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me.
Who was the person the hologram was talking about? Another missing friend? A missing friend. What happened to your old friend? Why aren't you with him? Because he cannot take anyone with him, even the woman and the hologram. He left all he cared about behind. And he left you. Sorry, T3. But he did help. You found us, T3. And if we can stop the Sith, then there's hope after all. Is that message what you were trying to hide? But so this help you came in search for. You came in search of me. But why me? I was powerless, defenseless. You needed someone strong enough to fight the danger that was coming. Someone who knew war and battle and could make the hard choices that had to be made. Very well, T3. I'm honored. I'll do what I can to stop this threat. The person in the hologram, a friend of yours? The message doesn't tell me where the Ebon Hawk came from. But why don't you have that information? Deleted? Deleted by whom? You deleted it? Why the hell? Something's wrong here. There must have been a reason for it. Don't be sorry. Maybe you had a good reason when we were trying to protect someone. I don't understand why you're concealing this from me. I don't think you can message it like that.
T3.
Okay. So, what do I need for HK? Alright. How far am I from getting a level? 3,000 experience. What's my skill at the moment? Kinda regret not put... Actually, hold on a second. I do have access to a workshop, so I might as well actually use it. Oh, I still got the chance. To do what, you might ask? Well, simple answer to that is to get enough skill in computer. I think I need about 15 skill in computer. I think I have the wisdom for it. Let's create stuff. No, I cannot actually make... Oh, wait. I need something to... Could really use something to increase my... But there's nothing I have, unfortunately. Very well. Let me check this. So, you have installed the vocabulary through all that remains is a droid processor, a droid chassis, and a control cluster. I'll get those soon enough, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyway, that was a long-winded conversation with Kreia. The discovery of T3's secrets is very easy to get influence with that guy. Just don't be a prick to him, and he'll be very loyal. He's like a dog, in a sense, basically. Very loyal. Just don't be unnecessarily harsh to the guy. He'll come through for you at the... when you need him the most, basically. Again and again. He's like R2-D2 in that respect.